In the recent Prestige recap, I briefly showed the 25 class setups that I have. For a long time I only used 8 or so at a time, but after being done with all the camo and attachment challenges, and after hitting Prestige 20, I could use whatever I wanted to use, and it finally felt worth it to set everything up because there's no more resetting to worry about. I thought today I would talk about them a bit more because I completely skipped over them in the already fairly long Prestige video, and somebody did show some interest in getting a better look at them. The only way this video could go horribly wrong is if they have some goddamn update where they add in all those attachments into supply drops that have been rumored and floating around in the game since January, all those Modern Warfare 2 and other attachments, because this video would be immediately outdated in that case, and knowing my luck that'll all drop this Tuesday or something. I have yet to ever make any kind of best class setup video because I find those are pretty trashy videos, to be honest. Like if I said best MWR class ever, you don't need to click on it to know I'll be like, oh, use a stopping power M16, knock yourself out. Or I could be like, wow, crazy MWR class, you have to try. And I could just pick some random niche weapon and be like, yeah, you thought the Scorpion was really bad, but actually, it can be fun. I don't see that type of video being helpful. I think you know just as well as I do what weapons are viable, roughly, but with 25 class setups here, I thought it would be interesting to go through what I have prepared for different game modes, different scenarios, different maps, basically everything I find myself wanting to use. I don't think all of these are the perfect best classes possible. Some things I just enjoy using. They suit my playstyle or preference, so maybe you get some ideas from all these to use in your own classes, or maybe you have some ideas for me if you think I'm doing something super dumb. So huge surprise here, my classes start off with several variations of M16. This is an all-around newbie, power-focused troll class because it has the Deagle Last Stand combo there, so if I want to be an asshole in a full sniper lobby, I can go with this one. The tryhard variant just gives me the stealth option in the 44 Magnum, which if you didn't know doesn't suffer any range reduction from the suppressor, so to go from Deagle to Magnum, you're basically just giving up one bullet to gain stealth. And I like that option here, paired with the slightly more competitive Dead Silence, especially if I want to put on a headset for once. Before going too far, I want to make a couple notes. One, the melee weapon doesn't matter, of course. That Shamrock Blade is very small and doesn't shake or block the screen in a huge way, like some of these other ones really mess with you, so I use that on many of the classes I use most. It used to be that you gained an extra 75% run distance when you pulled out your melee weapon. That kind of messed with search and destroy timings, but that was changed a long time ago. If you didn't know, you no longer run further with a melee weapon, so there's no great reason to ever pull it out. Another note, I have stun grenades on nearly every class. Flashbangs are very effective, I will admit, but I'm very accustomed to the quick deploy time of the stun grenades. I like to use them in a pinch or to quickly check a room, and I don't want to mess up my timings by trying to switch back and forth between the stun and the flash, not being sure of which one I have equipped at the time. If you're used to using flashbangs, you could stick with them for the same reason. Finally, I will point out that Bandolier is like my standard perk for all these assault rifles, but if I want to convert any of them to a search and destroy mode, I'll swap that out for claymores, and I especially might do that for this one. Finally, the stealth class goes full quiet mode. I even changed to the battle-worn weapon kit and a flat dull camo. That Magnum kit isn't actually as flashy as it looks when you compare it to the default Magnum. Suppressors all around and UAV jammer. If I'm in a particularly UAV spammy game or on a larger map where I value flanking more than constant shooting like ambush perhaps, and I want to know that I will never show up on the map, UAV jammer is a great option, whereas it's much easier to go loud on smaller maps like Vacant or Showdown. When there's constant action, people tend to pay more attention to what's going on in front of them instead of using the minimap to lead them to a target. Here I have a middle-of-the-road, quiet M4 class, not maximum stealth, you can see the stopping power there. I don't know why I love using the M4 iron sights, but hate the M16 iron sights. It has to just be the full auto because they're basically the same thing, but I much prefer the M16 red dot to be accurate. I like using this one sometimes if I'm not too worried about UAVs, but want to maintain some stealth to build up a kill streak. Even on a smaller map like Showdown, it works pretty well. Then I figured I'd throw in a class for the AK and XM-LAR, both high power, fun to use, and they're both bad when suppressed because the long range damage actually drops from 30 to 20. It isn't just the range drop off you have to worry about. Do not use silencers on these two weapons. Also, do not have a red dot on the AK. It has the same damage lowering effect. The AK has the better time to kill, the XM has the better accuracy. I rarely end up choosing these, but maybe in a laggier game or if I'm not feeling the M16 all day every day, I can give these a go. Then I have three types of sniper class. One is meant for the long-range campy sniping. It has the Barrett, very good for that purpose. A suppressed USP, which I like quite a lot as a reliable backup weapon, and those claymores there as well, all fitting the campy theme. For some reason I don't like the assassin kit, only on the Barrett, and it just so happens that the Pride kit has the TF-141 logos, which is pretty awesome. Next, can't forget the M40, a very fun scout class. The ACOG, of course, bringing the base damage from 70 to 75, enabling stopping power one-shot kills everywhere on the body, even those arms and legs. No multipliers needed, unless you're facing Juggernaut, then you're back to needing the stopping power head or neck shot to kill. But it's a very fun class. Frag times 3 because I'm much more mobile with this one, and I don't need to lean on my secondary as much, so I have that deagle for pure power. Good time with that class. And then I didn't really need a third one, especially because there are no suppressed sniper rifles yet, I guess I'll say. The closest thing would be the M40 assault rifle, but here's an attempt at a stealthy sniper class, again with the boring camos, UAV jammer, dead silence, and the very spammable M21, especially when prone, so giving up stopping power is not a big deal. Finally, at the 10th and 11th classes, I have the two variations of anti-helicopter classes. If helicopter spam ever gets bad, they're good to have ready to go. The reason that they are 10th and 11th is because when you're in game, there are actually 11 classes per page, and not 10 for some reason. It feels like a mistake. When you add the 5 default classes for 30 total, they could all fit perfectly into 3 pages, just like in the create class menu, but instead they made it not uniform. Very weird. Anyway, I like those two at the bottom of the page so I can navigate to them quickly. One with double tap for quick RPD damage, one with sleight of hand to quickly fire off both RPGs. The one I choose depends on the map and the type of helicopter. I won't talk about these classes a whole lot because I already said everything there is to say in that super in-depth countering helicopters guide. Now I have 4 classes designed for Shipment and Killhouse. I made sure they were one tab to the right for quick access because I tend to play on these maps whenever possible. Basically, they all have Sonic Boom and Martyrdom, the reason being to work towards Martyr Dominated. Even forgetting about that challenge, it is a fairly good, albeit cruel, strategy for Shipment regardless, but after being done with Martyr Dominated, I might prefer to opt for a stopping power deep impact RPD or a stopping power regular Martyrdom P90 class. All of those things are good options, but for now they look like that. I find the XM fun to use on Killhouse, the other ones can work on either map. I have this one Bomb Squad class at the moment, which only exists for when I see people deploying a bunch of C4 and Claymores, and I think I might have a good shot at finishing off the Return to Sender challenge once and for all. Bomb Squad and Deep Impact are there to help me get that done. After that challenge is complete, this class will probably become a blank class that I can change to whatever I feel like. Then I have my only regular LMG class, the Grip RPD, because it's the only LMG I think is worth using normally. They're all somewhat usable, but not that great, and the RPD iron sights are very clean, which means the Grip pairs excellently with it. Now the entire final section is filled with a variety of SMG classes. Bandolier was the standard perk for assault rifles, but Frag times 3 is the standard perk for SMGs because I want to be running around and maximizing damage. I'll be in good places to throw them, and I'm not really prioritizing staying alive for a long time. I have a MAC-10 Quiet and a MAC-10 Stealth class. We've already seen what I consider a Quiet class versus a full dedicated Stealth class with UAV jammer and no bright camos. I have no regular MAC-10 class because the MAC-10 is the perfect suppressed weapon. Just like the Magnum, it is the only other weapon in the game to not suffer any range penalty, and the iron sights are pretty good. I have a standard MP5 class with steady aim, an all-around good class, an MP5 speed variant class with that extreme conditioning, and I actually throw a smoke grenade on this class, might as well make it objective-oriented in case I want to be running around capturing flags or planting bombs, and I made an MP5 stealth variant as well because it is pretty good and fun for variety. I made an AK-74U class as well. It's a good weapon, but no other versions were needed, like a speed version, because the AK-74U is like an AR hybrid in a few ways. It has assault rifle run speed, for example, so there's no real reason trying to boost that up even more. And finally, a regular P90 class and a P90 stealth class. Because why not? To be honest, I love the way it sounds, very satisfying. There is a run-through of my 25 classes. Again, not like it's perfection, they're just some things I like using. Maybe that gives you some ideas or some information you didn't know about some of these weapons, or maybe you have some questions or pointers for me, like why the hell are you using that thing? If you felt this video was too short for your liking, I will end it with this hilarious raging guy who cared way too much about the result of a regular public domination match. There's nothing more to say about classes, so if random rage guide does not interest you, I will say now, thanks for watching, I will catch you next time, otherwise, enjoy. You can see that a few enemies made an assault on C near the end of this game, but it looks like my team holds them off. I'm not taking this seriously at all. As usual, I'm watching some videos on another monitor. We get the triple cap at the end thanks to my asshole last stand, but let's see what somebody on the other team thinks of this.
My fucking team is just killed. How do you fuck that up? Oh my god, I'm literally fucking shitting on these kids. Straight open ass into mouth. I'm fucking these kids up and we lose the game. How the fuck do you manage that? One fucking task. Capture C. You guys don't go near C.
Oof, well, okay, I'm sorry about that, man. Hopefully he's calmed down now.
I'm gonna fucking break my monitor.
Oh.
The amount of fucking autistic kids I'm playing with tonight. You guys have no fucking brain cells? Is that it?
Alright, he's done now, right?
I'm not speaking Korean, so unless you're fucking Korean, any language that's not fucking English, you know what I'm saying. Get on the C flag. Not that fucking difficult. Kids were straight fucking garbage. They couldn't fucking hit a shot if I was point blank range. And you literally give up a fucking win like that. Down like 70 fucking points, and you give the fucking win. To a bunch of fucking scrubs. To a bunch of fucking scrubs you give the fucking win to. Wow. That is just fucking pathetic, dude. How the fuck do you do that?
That dude raged for the entire minute and a half from the end of the game to the next game throughout the entire lobby time. My god, round of applause to that guy. Oh, and if you wanted a conclusion to this story, here's a little peek at how the next game went.
Dead because... What happened? That's gonna fucking happen!
Enemy UAV airborne!
I wish I was on his team because I could only imagine he was yelling that entire time. Well, that's it. Hope that was fun. I recorded it and knew I would never really use it for a video unless I threw it into something right away. Alright, bye-bye.